The delivery of aid to cyclone-ravaged Burma is beginning to speed up, with the first United States relief flight finally landing in the capital, Rangoon. The plane has brought much-needed supplies, including drinking water. But US officials say they can bring in 10 times as much if they are given permission by Burma's ruling generals.
A solitary American cargo plane arrived in Rangoon this afternoon. A tiny victory for international diplomacy after days of haggling. But the aid was swiftly seized by the Burmese military and the Americans politely told to leave. In the disaster zone, there were some signs of progress today. More emergency supplies are now beginning to get through to the cyclone's survivors. This rice brought in by the United Nations, a fraction of what's needed, but still a significant improvement.
We're seeing similar scenes that we did to the tsunami. Homes destroyed, people have obviously lost their crops. They've even lost the rice store that they have available to keep them going. They have very limited access to clean water, and that leads to more serious things like diseases.
Out in the Delta, hundreds of thousands are still living like this, drinking from contaminated waters littered with corpses. Right now, 10 days on, it's still thought that less than a third of those in need are getting some aid. It would take almost 400 tons of food a day to feed those in need. Right now, less than 1/5 of that is getting through. As for trucks and boats and staff and helicopters, there's less than 1/10 of what's required. This operation barely off the ground. The result? Camps packed with homeless families are increasingly threatened by dysentery and cholera. In the ruins of her home, this woman complains that she's received only a handful of rice. It's not enough, she says. For now, Burma's rulers remain determined to shrug off international pressure, handling this disaster on their own terms. For the struggling survivors, it's a high-risk strategy.